Join me, everyone. Let's catch the wave on Arirang Radio. TGIF and have a beautiful Friday.
안녕하세요. 선현우입니다.
Yes, 현우 선생님, 안녕하세요. Welcome to the program.
안녕하세요.
It's always great to have you here, and I'm actually quite excited because I know many of our listeners are looking forward to this segment because they want to learn some new, useful Korean expressions.
That's right. And for that reason, I have prepared a very useful phrase and also have selected a really, really catchy song by a famous girl group.
That's going to be quite fun, I guess, for our listeners. What we do in the first hour, for those of you who are new, is we teach you a useful expression in the first part. In the second part, we use a K-pop song and we try to teach you some words and maybe some other expressions that can come in handy if you come to Korea or if you meet Korean people.
That's right.
Yes.
So in the first segment, we're going to go with a survival Korean phrase.
Ooh, what is it?
The phrase is 경비실에 맡겨주세요.
경비실에 맡겨주세요.
The second part, 맡겨, changes to 맡겨 to a little bit.
맡겨주세요.
맡겨주세요.
So when do you use this expression and what does it exactly mean, please?
To break down the sentence, basically, 경비실 is the security office, the concierge's office, and 맡기다 is to leave something with someone. You just have someone look after or like look at your stuff while you're gone or while you're not there yet. And 맡겨주세요 means please, leave it there.
Yes.
So 경비실에 맡겨주세요 as a whole, it means please leave the parcel or the delivered item at the security office.
It could be a letter, or maybe you order something on a internet shopping site.
That's right.
And if you're not there to receive or to, I guess, get that parcel or that letter, then you can ask and you can say this to the person on the phone. 경비실에 맡겨주세요.
경비실에 맡겨주세요. And the reason that I've picked this as a survival Korean phrase,
yes, why, please?
is because by saying this, you can actually, save time and you can avoid having to explain in more details.
Yeah.
Because please put it in front of the door. Please, can you come back 3 hours later because I get home in 3 hours?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to explain and to say that.
Exactly. And the delivery people, they're always in a rush and they don't have the luxury of time to actually have a really
long
relaxed conversation with you. They're like, 빨리, 빨리, 빨리.
Yeah.
So
it's true though, it's true. I've experienced that several times as well.
And even if you want them to actually leave everything at the security office by default, without your consent,
they will do it.
They won't do it.
They won't do it?
Yeah, they want to check with you first.
To make sure.
Yeah, it's usually their company's policy. So
because if they lose the parcel, then they are responsible.
Exactly. So they want to hear from you so I can leave the box at the security office, right? And then if you say yes, they're more than happy to leave it there because usually a lot of people are more commonly living in apartment buildings. And
that's right.
Yeah. And buildings have this security office and that's on the first floor.
Yes, usually on the first floor near the elevator.
Yeah, and they don't have to go all the
way up and find take the elevator, and sometimes you have to wait for the elevator Yeah, so I guess it's easier sometimes for the delivery men to just leave it at the security office or at the office on the first floor of your building. 경비실. Now, me, I live in a house with, I guess, like a 4-story house with other families, and we don't have a 경비실.
In that case, you can use other phrases. Yeah. But if you do happen to live in a big apartment building,
which is most often the case.
Yeah. Especially if you work with a Korean company, they might be likely to provide you with an accommodation, and they might have a permanent place that is on contract.
Yeah.
Even if you leave, like somebody else will be living there. So it's likely that you will have a 경비실.
Sure. And so for me, the phrase I use is 문 앞에 맡겨주세요. You can't say 맡겨주세요, but 놔둬주세요.
문 앞에
leave it. Please leave it in
놔주세요.
front of the door. And usually here in Korea, it's pretty safe. No one is going to take it. Or it's very rare.
Yeah, it's very rare. And especially if you need to have a password to punch in at the front door. Yeah, it's going to be pretty safe.
There you go. Okay, well, that's an interesting expression. I was actually asking myself, is this really a survival expression, Hyunwoo? Now I see why. 경비실에 맡겨주세요. That's the first expression. We have a question for you, and you can try to answer it and try to win a book sponsored to us by talktomeinkorean.com. Hyunwoo, what's the question?
The question is, what does 경비실 mean?
경비실, what does it mean?
Yes.
Number 1.
Bathroom.
Number 2.
Elevator.
Number 3.
Parking lot.
Number 4.
Security office.
Okay, what does it mean? 경비실 in the phrase 경비실에 맡겨주세요. Good luck to you. Go online right now, arirangradio.com/catchthewave to participate and try to win a book. Good luck. We'll play some music. We'll be back. We have a song to introduce when we come back, and we're going to teach you some more Korean words. This is NC야, 난 좀 달라. I'm different. Yes, welcome back. You are listening to Catch the Wave with Hyunwoo 선생님 and Adrian Lee, and we are here to help you. And I know many of you are trying to learn Korean, maybe on your own. It's not always easy to learn a new language, so we are here to help you. You can rely on us. You can ask us your questions, and you can also try to win a book.
That's right. And we also provide you with lots of different methods of participation.
And in the second hour, you can actually send us your voice messages, and we try to play your audio clips, and if you are aired on the show, we also send you a book from talktomeinkorean.com.
We're
the
giving
email
away,
address.
Yeah, we're giving away lots of things.
Yeah, lots of books. Hyunwoo is very generous. The email address, if you want to send us your voice messages, catchkoreanwave@gmail.com. Before we jump into the song, let's read out the question once again. What does 경비실 mean? Number 1.
Bathroom.
Number 2.
Elevator.
Number 3.
Parking lot.
And number 4.
Security office.
Okay, and we talked about the sentence 경비실에 맡겨주세요. Good luck to you. Hyunwoo, what's the song we're going to talk about now?
Today, I've picked a song by Girls' Day, and the title is Darling.
That's their new song.
Yeah.
And they're quite popular.
They're becoming more and more popular in Korea and I guess also around the world. And it doesn't have a Korean title. It's just Darling.
Darling.
Yeah, and everybody knows what darling is in Korea.
Yes. Darling.
Yeah, darling.
Let's listen to the little part of that song, and we will introduce the words.
So that was the line.
Kind of hard to decipher all the words if you're a beginner.
Exactly.
Because even for me, I have to listen very closely to understand this sentence.
I thought it was really interesting because it's kind of a spin-off of an original quote by a famous boxer, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, and basically in English, what was it like?
It's basically fly like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
Exactly. So fly like a butterfly and sting like a bee, that is like almost literally applied to this Korean sentence, but they've actually added some words here and there.
It's a bit more romantic.
More romantic, more cute, more girly, I guess.
Yes.
So let me read it out loud once.
Yeah.
나비처럼 내 맘에 날아앉아 별처럼 사랑을 톡 쏘니까.
It's actually quite poetic.
Very, very poetic.
What does it mean exactly?
The first part, 나비 is butterfly. 나비처럼 means like a butterfly. And 내 마음에, in my heart or on my heart.
Yeah.
날아앉아 means you flew over and you sat on it.
That's right.
And 벌처럼 is like a bee.
Yeah.
And 사랑을 톡 쏘니까 because you sting your love at me.
Basically, so come and sit on my heart like a butterfly and come and sting me with your love just like a bee.
Exactly. So I guess they are saying that the approach was really soft and natural, but then the actual contact or something like the moment of love happening was like the stinging of a bee.
You are struck by lightning.
Exactly.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it once again. And it's quite catchy too.
Yeah.
That little part. I like this phrase actually. It's quite poetic, and yeah, we can learn some words. Maybe which ones do you think are important for our listeners here?
I think 톡 is really interesting.
톡.
Yeah, because 톡 on its own as a standalone noun, it doesn't really mean much. But with 쏘다, which means to sting,
톡 쏘다.
It has, I don't know, a stronger meaning of stinging.
톡 쏘다.
톡 쏘다. And also, when you drink soda, you can say, oh, 톡 쏘아요.
Yeah.
Because it pops. And
yeah, when you open a can of soda and you just drink it too quickly, then it's really strong and you have a hard time swallowing.
Yeah, it's almost as if the soda is stinging in the inside of your throat. So 톡 쏘다, 톡 is the onomatopoeia that describes how something stings.
Stings.
Yeah.
톡 쏘다.
Not stinking, but stinging.
No. Yes. Good thing that you clarify. Okay, let's listen to it once again. This is a song by Girls' Day. It's their latest one, Darling, and this is the part we wanted to focus on. It makes me want to listen to the rest of the song, doesn't it?
And are we going to do that?
Actually, no, but maybe next time. We've played actually Girls' Day quite a few times here on Catch the Wave.
All right.
So we'll have to be a bit more patient. Once again, this was the phrase we introduced. 나비처럼 내 마음에 날아앉아 and 벌처럼 사랑을 톡 쏘니까. 톡 쏘니까. Just like you mentioned. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Hyunwoo, for these explications.
You're welcome.
Explanations. We'll be back in the second hour, and we will continue to entertain you with some more, I guess, words of advice when it comes to Korean language. In the second hour, Hyunwoo, we will be listening to some audio clips.
I'm excited for it.
And we will also try to answer some questions from our listeners.
That's right. So bring your questions to us and we'll try to answer all of them.
Definitely. Okay, if you want more details, visit arirangradio.com/catchthewave and use the message board. We'll be back after this next song. Here we go. Buska Buska. 처음엔 사랑이란 게. Love at First. All right, catch the wave. And today we are catching the language wave with Hyunwoo from TalkToMeInKorean.com. And our show continues in the second hour. Hyunwoo, you're feeling good?
Yes. And now that we just mentioned that we are catching the Korean language wave, I mean, it's funny how our videos are kind of changing the search results when you type in Catch the Wave on search engines.
Because why? What happens?
Before we started filming ourselves at the same time, if you typed in Catch the Wave, it was usually guys surfing, actually catching the wave. Yeah. But now it's mostly us.
Our videos. Oh, that's good. I'm happy to hear that, Hyunwoo.
That's actually good news.
And I'm sure for the listeners of Arirang Radio, they're probably more happy to see our videos than just random guys on waves. Yes. At least that's what I'm hoping. Okay, very good. In the first hour, we taught you some useful expressions. We talked about the survival expression Hyunwoo brought in, 경비실에 맡겨주세요, with a question. What does 경비실 mean? Number 1,
bathroom.
Number 2,
elevator.
Number 3,
parking lot.
And number 4,
security office.
Okay, so go online, tell us what 경비실 means, and you might win a book sponsored to us by TalkToMeInKorean.com. And we also talked about the song Girls' Day, the song by Girls' Day called Darling, and we focused on 톡 쏘니까.
톡 쏘니까.
Yes, about that stinging effect. Yes, not stinking as you mentioned.
Everybody wants to be stung by love.
Yes.
I guess.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue on. We have a nice message here by Violet Hong. I'll read her comment before we listen to her voice message.
All right.
She says, well, I don't really know what to say in this recording, but I've heard that anything will do as long as we speak in Korean, right?
That's correct.
That is correct. So I thought maybe I should give it a try, and I wrote a speech of appreciation based on what I've learned from you guys. I've spent a long time trying to write this speech, especially for you. Hope you guys will be happy after listening to this. You guys really do motivate me a lot. By the way, I have sent the message about what I'm trying to say here too, just in case I didn't speak clear enough.
So she's actually attached a screenshot of her memo for this voice recording so that we can actually read along, check whether she's actually saying everything right.
Violet, thank you very much. And she wants us to correct her mistakes when it comes to pronunciation or even the sentence structure. Why don't we listen to it? I think we will basically split it into different parts, and we'll listen to the first part right now.
저 때는 티티믹에서 배우기 전에 내가 한국어 대해서 진짜 아무것도 몰랐어요. 저는 대학생 때문에 한국어 그냥 조금 배울 수 있었어요. 티티믹 웹사이트를 찾은 후에 한국어는 안 돼서 진짜 재미있어졌어요.
Okay, fantastic job. There are some minor pronunciation mistakes and, of course, some grammar mistakes, but
don't you think she talks quite fast?
Quite fast and very, very natural.
Yeah, she seems to be very confident.
Yeah, the flow, the intonation is really, really confident and also natural.
Yeah.
Fantastic job.
Is there any part you'd like to underline or highlight here in this introduction part?
Well, I would like to just basically go over what she said and mention some of those things. 첫 때는, I think she meant at first.
At first, in the beginning.
Yeah, so you might want to say 처음에는. 처음에는 in the beginning. 티티믹에서 배우기 전에, before I started learning at Talk to Me in Korean, 내가, because you are saying 했어요, 몰랐어요, using everything in 존댓말, please say 제가. That's also the polite language.
Polite form of referring to yourself.
Exactly. 제가 is much more natural, much better.
Yeah.
한국어 대해서 진짜 아무것도 몰랐어요. I didn't know anything about Korean.
And here 진짜 is like emphasizing.
Yes.
It's like really.
Yeah, I really didn't know anything about the Korean language. 저는 대학생 때문에, she said that, but you should say 저는 대학생 이기 때문에, because if you say 저는 대학생 때문에, it means because of a university student, like somebody else. And 한국어 그냥 조금 배울 수 있었어요 would be a better version than 배울 수 있었어요.
Okay.
So you were able to only learn a little bit because you are a university student. 티티믹 웹사이트를 찾은 후에 한국어는 저한테서 진짜 재미있어졌어요. 저한테. So after finding the website, Korean language has become
really fun.
Really fun to me.
Exciting. Okay. Well, that's a good start. Thank you, Violet. Let's continue with your message.
아리랑에서 캐치 더 웹도 있어요. 내가 한국어 공부하는 중에 캐치 더 웹도 많이 도와줬어요. 캐치 더 웹 그리고 티티믹이 있어서 내가 한국어를 그리고 한국에 대해서 많이 배웠어요.
This part is much better.
Well, the first one wasn't bad, but
yeah.
But this is very good.
Yeah. Except for the 제가 내가 part, please stick to.
Okay.
Yeah, 제가. That's much better. That's going to make you look so much better in so many situations, right?
Yes. So once again, maybe you can clarify. 내가 is the expression you use when you talk about yourself, but in a very casual way.
Very casual, very informal, only under mutual consent.
Yeah. And then 제가
is the default polite language. So 제가 before that she said 아리랑에서 catch the wave도 있어요. There's also catch the wave on 아리랑. And then she says 내가 한국어 공부하는 중에 catch the wave도 많이 도와줬어요. For my Korean studying, catch the wave has helped a lot. catch the wave 그리고 티티믹 있어서 내가 한국어를 그리고 한국에 대해서 많이 배웠어요. Thanks to or because Catch the Wave and Talk to Me Korean exist, I learned a lot of Korean and also about Korea.
Yes, 많이 배웠어요.
많이 배웠어요.
Let's continue.
인터넷에서 내가 한국어 새 친구도 만들었어요. 티티미 선생님들 그리고 DJ 에드웰리 같은 그들은 진짜 좋은 사람이에요. 그들이 있으니까 내가 지금까지 한국어를 쉽게 배울 수 있었어요.
Okay. Again, 있었어요, 있었어요.
Yeah.
This time,
That's easy to correct, I guess. If she learns it, then she just has to change each ending.
Because she's repeatedly making the same mistake, it just means she just has to switch, that to something else, and then she knows it. And also, this time, why don't I read the Korean parts?
Okay, sure.
You're gonna translate.
Yeah.
인터넷에서 내가 or 제가 한국어 새 친구도 만들었어요.
Which means?
Which means, do you want to translate?
Oh, you want me to translate? Yeah. She was able to meet new friends online via the internet, I guess.
티티믹 선생님들 그리고 DJ Adrian Lee 같은 그들은 진짜 좋은 사람이에요. Thank you.
She says because of Hyunwoo and because of me, well, she was able to learn, and she says we're really good people,
yes.
basically.
And she's right. We are good people, right?
좋은 사람이에요. 좋은 사람.
좋은 사람 맞죠?
네.
네, 좋은 사람들이에요. 그들이 있으니까 제가 지금까지 한국어를 쉽게 배울 수 있었어요.
Because of them, because of us, basically, she was able to learn Korean very easily.
Fantastic.
Okay, one last part, I think. Let's listen to it.
내가 너무 기쁘고 감동하고 여러분 많이 감사합니다. 그렇게 티티미 선생님들, DJ 에리얼리 그리고 한국 친구한테 말하고 싶어요. 고맙습니다, 여러분. 많이 감사합니다. 언젠가는 내가 티티미 선생님들, DJ 에리얼리 그리고 한국 친구 꼭 만날 거예요. 약속해요. 꼭 내가 기다리세요.
기다릴게요. We will wait. So basically she's thanking us once again and Hyunwoo and I. She's also saying thank you to her Korean friends and she really wants to meet us one day. That's what right. She says at the end.
And she says, I promise.
I promise. 약속해요.
Yeah, I'll meet you.
That's maybe something you listeners can remember from this message. 약속해요.
약속해요.
I promise. That's an important phrase.
Yeah, 약속해요. 약속할게요.
Yes, and 기다릴게요. We will be waiting, Hyunwoo.
Exactly, right here.
Okay, congratulations, Violet. You will be receiving a book sponsored to us by TalkToMeInKorean.com, and hopefully you will continue to learn Korean. You're already doing a great job, so congratulations and thank you once again, Violet. Visit our homepage, arirangradio.com/catchthewave, and click on winner information. Give us your details, and we will send you a book. Hyunwoo, we'll be back in part 4 of K-Talk, and we will answer some of their questions.
Sounds good.
All right, this is Speaker Tonight. Tonight. That was a song by Speaker here on Catch the Wave. And thank you once again to Violet for her nice voice message. She did a great job. You can do the same. You don't have to be an expert. Of course not. You can be a very beginner.
Exactly.
Like you can start learning Korean today and send us a voice message next week if you want.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you learned, just practice saying those lines, and we're here to, listen to those things. Yeah.
And I'm sure we have many people just like you who are learning Korean language and who would love to hear your beautiful voices.
Exactly.
Okay. Good luck to you, and we will continue to give you books if you participate and if you are selected. Now, we have some questions, and we also like to answer your curiosities. Hyunwoo, I'm going to ask you some questions. Is that okay?
All right. I don't know the questions, right?
Well, I know them. I'll read them. We have Natharin here from Malaysia. She says, hello, DJ Adrian and Hyunwoo 선생님. How should I express this sentence in Korean? I'm different from you.
Oh.
And she says, don't find me weird or funny. She just wants to say, I'm different in Korean.
I am different. You can say, 저는 달라요.
Yes.
저는 달라요. And the from you part can be tricky because you cannot say you in Korean very easily.
Yeah.
You have to know the name of the other person. And you say name and then the other person's name. And then 씨하고 달라요. 저는 에이드리언 씨하고 달라요.
Yes. 저도 현우 씨하고 달라요.
Yeah, so you have to use the name of the other person, or if you're talking to a friend in 반말, casual language, you can say 나는 너랑 달라, or 나는 너하고 달라.
달라. 너랑 달라, 너하고 달라. Or if you just want to say I'm different, 난 달라.
난 달라.
난 달라 if you're talking to a friend.
Or 저는 달라요.
저는 달라요. Okay, there you go. I hope yes, this was helpful. I don't know how, in which situation you want to use this and to who, but if you do use it, please let us know.
Yeah, I'm different from you.
Okay, we're all very different. Gabriela from Mexico. What's the difference between 아이고 and 헐? 아이고, 헐.
Okay.
What's the difference?
It's almost the same thing, but 아이고 has existed for over decades. 헐 was made at least, I don't know.
Recently.
Recently.
Maybe
like,
a few years ago.
Yeah, less than a decade ago.
Yes.
So 헐 is new and used by teenagers, maybe younger people in their 20s, maybe in their 30s, but definitely not in their 60s.
It's basically slang. And when do you use it?
When you are
surprised, no?
Frustrated, surprised, when you are surprised too, you know?
Yeah, when you see like a very shocking video online, you can say 헐.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Or what do I do?
And 아이고?
아이고, it's the same thing. When you drop something, I guess 아이고, you can say 아이고 more properly than 헐, because when you say 헐 after you drop something, you're like just watching it.
Yeah.
And not doing anything about it, but 아이고 is more like a reflex.
Okay, if you want to be more cool and if you want to stay young, use 헐.
Not too often though.
Okay, here we have Hiba. Hiba, I'm from Egypt, and I was wondering if you could help me. I started learning Korean a while ago, but it's very hard for me to pronounce the vowels and the difference between 시옷 as S and 시옷 as SH. So sometimes I guess 시옷 is pronounced S and sometimes it's pronounced sh. So how can we help Hiba?
Okay, so the best thing you can do in terms of pronouncing 시옷, the S equivalent in Korean, properly is just practice with various combinations. Like put A after 시옷, put E after 시옷, put O after 시옷, and just, check out the sounds, like check the sound differences. And basically to Korean ears, it's all the same thing. So when you have E after 시옷, it's 시, but that's not going to be different from the 시옷 from 소.
Yeah.
But in English, 소 might be closer to S.
Okay.
시 might be closer to SH. So just keep in mind that to Korean ears, it's all the same thing.
That's right. Let's say 사랑, for instance, love. 사랑, it's
more,
like an S.
More
사랑.
like an S.
And then if you say like 시간 is time. 시간 is more like a SH.
That's right. So different consonants in different languages have different ranges of the sound spectrum.
That's interesting. I never really thought about that because, you use it every single day. And as a Korean, you don't really focus on your language too much. You don't analyze the language itself.
That's right.
But there are some nuances here and there. So thank you for your question. I hope it's helpful, Hiba. Continue practicing, and if you have some more questions, send them to us. Okay, we'll leave it there for the comments. Hyunwoo, thanks for your details.
Thank you.
And we'll continue to basically introduce expressions and help our listeners learn Korean.
That's right. And
in the future.
I always have a hard time picking the song for the next episode of K-Talk with Hyunwoo. So if you have any suggestions or requests, let me know.
Yes, if you want us to focus on a specific part from your favorite K-pop song, give us some ideas. You can go on the message board, arirangradio.com. Okay, let's talk about the quiz once again. If you want to try to win a book sponsored to us by TalkToMeInKorean.com, we asked you a question in the first hour. We will give you the name of the lucky winner online at the end of the show. Make sure you continue to participate. So the question was, what does 경비실 mean? We talked about the expression 경비실에 맡겨주세요. What does 경비실 mean? Number 1,
bathroom.
Number 2,
elevator.
Number 3,
parking lot.
And number 4,
security office.
Good luck to you. Okay, Hyunwoo, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me once again.
Okay, we'll see you around next time here in the studio. This is Big Flo, Tilla Illa.